Hey y'all, I'm super tired. Had a long day of work and a long work week. Why people have to room like that though? Anyways, my face is breaking out because it's that time of the month coming. I feel it. Um, but I really wanted to come and break bread and talk about the importance of like dating yourself, dating your friends. So I'm here waiting to get some tacos and then sit in the park and we gonna talk about it. And it's gonna restore my soul. And then I'm gonna go home and get some work done. Stay tuned. I got a shrimp taco, a lengua taco, which is like tongue, beef tongue. I got costilla, I think it's just like short ribs, and then of course you gotta get the typical carne asada taco. Like, come on now. And with pineapple jarritos. If you know, you know. And then of course we can't miss dessert, baby. We got a little bit of flan. Let's see if it'll focus for y'all. And of course the pico de gallo and the salsas and the view. Anyways, not the topic for today, but the topic that I want to talk about and break bread about. These tacos are banging. Save the location I showed you because they're actually hitting more than they ever have. This one's a little cold. I'm not happy about that, but whatever. But the importance about dating yourself, dating your friends, dating your family. Over the past couple of weeks, I've had a couple friends that came by, and I have this like deck of cards. I'll try to insert some clips so that y'all can see what I'm talking about. But I have this deck of cards that I actually got when I was interviewing at Hopkins for residency, from the like primary care track, the urban health program. They sent us a little goodie bag with all these like cute treats and snacks that were Baltimore specific, and like seasonings and stuff that Baltimore is famous for, but also this box of cards, this regular deck of cards that has like interview questions, or like kind of like get to know you questions, icebreaker type deals, that were just like really good. And I forgot that I ever had them, but it's called Out of the Blocks. It's people always want to drive loud when you're talking. It's from this podcast called Out of the Blocks. Oh, it's summertime. The bikers are out, y'all. They popping wheelies. Come on. I love a little biker gang. I can't do it, but I love it. But yeah, it's called Out of the Blocks, and they have a podcast, and it's like really like good questions that I just was like, dang, I haven't thought about this. And so I brought it out to go on like lunch dates and stuff with my friends, and we were all like, dang, you know, when you think you know your friend, but over the years, especially the friends you've had for so long, we grow and we develop and we change, and our thoughts about things change. Our favorite colors change. Maybe we don't even have favorite colors anymore. You know, mine is blue and green. Unless it's flowers. Blue and green flowers don't make sense. They must be orange. Yeah, the things that we love and the way that we think and process and see the world change. And, you know, there probably is a time that when you were younger and developing certain friendships that you didn't really talk about things that were too deep. Or you didn't go into trauma and like healing and like relationship with God and those kind of things, because you're just talking about surface level. Maybe all you did was talk about boys whenever you link up, or girls if you're a dude, you know. Maybe you only talked about career and trying to get to the next step, and you were hyper focused on career that you missed getting to know your friends in other contexts, you know. So I've been doing that, and we've just been like, dang, I love you, girl, I love you, man, you know, as we get deeper and stuff. So just wanted to share, like, I realized how important that is. So now I just like throw it in my bag. If I'm flying anywhere, going anywhere, I throw it in my bag and I have it with me now. Quick bite. When was the last time you went on a date with your friend? I think we think about when we think about love, I think a lot of young people my age are focused on romantic love. I forget the words, all the Greek terms of the different kind of loves there are, but there's so many kind of loves. The love that I have for my friends and family is deep. And I realize, like, as I'm trying to grow closer with the Lord and try to spend time with the Lord and stuff, I also need to be having like intentional time that I spend time with my friends and my family and stuff. And I also love myself, and I'm trying to grow deeper in love with myself and understand more of my passions, my desires, the things I like and don't like. And that also requires time and reflection. And so it's funny because when I was in undergrad, I met this guy. His name is Daniel Johnson. He was like a family therapist. He's an alumni from UCLA. And I was the historian for the Black Student Union and had to get to know our history, who started it, who founded us, what were we born out of, who were the past leadership for the past like 70 years or however long it was at the time. And so in my research and in trying to put together a directory, I met him, and he became like my little Black granddaddy. And I would complain to him about my parents, and I didn't complain, but talk to him about the difficulties that I was having in communicating with them, and especially since going to college. And he's the one that first posed to me this thought that I never had. Like, don't you know, before your parents were your parents, they were people with interests and passions and desires and things. And I was like, no, I didn't think about that. You know, and it made me think, like, dang, what did they give up? What did they sacrifice as they started having kids? What did they sacrifice when they came into this country? When they immigrated here. And so I started trying to go on dates with my parents. And I think it was really hard, because it was hard for me to look at them from a place that wasn't their child, from a place that hadn't been of a child that hadn't been disappointed, or that had been disappointed in the past. Like, taking a step back and realizing that they were humans first before they were my parents was like really hard for me. And as I've gotten older, I think at first my dad was like, go on a date. I'll take you on a date. You don't take me on a date, you know. That African pride, man. But love my daddy. But you know, as I got older, I started trying to just ask questions here and there, so that it wouldn't be like explicit. Like, I don't want you to think I'm over here trying to like dig and find your weaknesses or whatever, but I'm gonna eat all the helicopter passes because work is right there and someone needs some help, I'm guessing. Y'all know about jarritos, man? This used to be the jam growing up in the valley. We were in LA, whatever. But yeah, I feel like now that I'm older, I'm like, dang, I really got to make sure I'm dating them, getting to know them. One of my friends posed this thing to me. Like, do you realize that when you move away from your family, if you look at the median age of folks in this country, and you only see your parents once a year, maybe they're in their 60s, the median age is 70 or 71, 72, 78, whatever, and that maybe you only have 10 more times to see your parents? It sounds very morbid, but man, can you imagine, would you change the way you're living your life right now? And the way you're treating them, the way that you're getting to know them, the way that you're building a relationship, the way that you're getting to love on them? Would you change that? Even with relationships that are strained, would you seek for healing? Would you seek for reconciliation? What would you do differently if you knew that their time was coming up? And my homeboy, he posed that to me a little while ago, and that really also changed the way that I think about things. I think I still struggle with a lot of hurt, but in like February, I went to Vietnam with my mom. I did an episode of Breaking Bread there. It's a little hard to hear, but I hope y'all watch that. And I got to date her. That was a date. We went on several, you know, we went on a boat, little cruise, you know what I'm saying? We tried out different street foods. We sat on little tiny chairs in the middle of the street eating who knows what. And I got to experience a different side of my mom that I have never seen. And I feel like my love and my appreciation for her grew and was different. So you might not get to like have the opportunity to take your parents out of the country. They might already be gone, you know. But I would really urge you to think about like, how am I spending time with my family? How am I being intentional about dating my friends and my family? Have I even thought about that? Because there's so much that you can learn. There's so many more ways that you might learn to love and love them, despite their flaws, despite their experiences, despite how your relationship is. That's a word. The other part, I think, of all of this that is just as important is dating yourself. I think like I've my first solo trip was I don't count when I went to India for my MPH, and I think I don't count that because it was like one classmate that I didn't really know her like that, but she came too. So I mean, it was like the most solo I've ever done. I don't know if y'all can hear these kids screaming bloody murder as if they've never been outside in their life. But you know what? If I was a kid, I'd probably be screaming too. Scream on, boo. But I don't really count that time. I probably should actually, because I've never been that far away from home on a different continent where I didn't know the language. You know what I'm saying? Like with people that I didn't know, and wow, was that such an experience of me learning what I like, what I don't like. Am I outgoing? Am I introverted? Yeah, I am like 60-40 and I swing back and forth. Oh, that shrimp is bussin'. Why am I acting like I talk like that? I don't even know what bussin' means. But yeah, like going on solo trips is such a big way to learn about yourself, learn how you navigate new environments where you're alone and have to interact with other people. That was such a big learning experience for me about who I am. Oh, I told myself I was working out. I'm such a liar. I'm eating. My jaw's working out. But it also helped me think about the fact that I am capable of doing things that I once thought were scary. I used to think traveling abroad was so scary. Not abroad, but like solo. And it is not. And there are certain places that are more safe for women based on culture. Places that are more safe for Black people. I mean, if you live in the US, I don't know what's scarier. I digress. But if you have the funds, even if you think you don't have the funds, just go and check Google Flights, check Skyscanner, see how cheap a flight is to anywhere. Read a little bit about it, because I think the media is overrated and the stories we see are typically, oh, baby girl's crying, she's not happy. I'll be happy the sun is shining on you. But look it up a little bit. Remember that stories are told from the view of the hero, for the most part. But look into places and see what you can actually afford. I think I went to Thailand. I went to Southeast Asia. That was my full for real solo trip. The flight, until I looked, I didn't know that the flight was less than $500. And at that time, that was the price to go to New York. Round trip. Hotels were cheap. I had a penthouse apartment in Bangkok for $17 a night or something like that. So imagine if I had split that with the homies. I'm so sad. But things are often cheaper than you think. So take the solo trip. And a solo trip can be down the street. A solo trip can be like what I'm doing right now, to the park, where you just spend an hour in your thoughts, an hour journaling, an hour eating good food, or going to a place where you've asked people, come, let's go. And they always are too busy. Go by yourself. I think you need to be able to be comfortable with yourself. And if you're not, try to figure out why, and try to figure out what it is that makes you uncomfortable with being alone with your thoughts. I think sometimes our thoughts can run crazy, and it's good to actually sit and hear them and know what's going on in your head, because that influences the way that you experience life and the way that you see the world. I'm a big fan of therapy. I haven't gone in a couple months because schedule. Bus. Anywho, I think the meat of what I was trying to say was just try to look at your schedule, see what time you have, see what friends are around, see where your family's at, and take them on dates. I highly recommend the Out of the Blocks cards. I think that I've bought a couple like question decks before, and a lot of them are like super sexual or like inappropriate, and some people like that and laugh at that. I don't really care about that stuff. I don't really want to flip the card open and see that and be shocked by what it says. I actually want to talk about the things that you care about, things that you love, the things that you regret, the things you still wish to experience in this life. Like, I like those things. I don't like the sexual weirdo. It's not really how you date your friends and your family. It's weird. I don't even think I like that on like dates, you know, of the romantic sorts. Like first date, second date, third date, we ain't talking about that stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here because I'm on a date and I gotta pay attention to my date because my date's really important. But I've never tried their flan before. I've tried their tres leches cake, and this is a corner piece. You know, corner piece is a flan. If you know what flan is, flan. It's like an egg custard. One of my friends from high school, junior high, I used to go to her house and she would teach me new things. She taught me how to make horchata. Nanush, hope you're doing well, girl. If you see this, she taught me how to make flan. I was doing it back then. I'm gonna touch my horchata or my flan, bro. But let's see how they do it. They got all the little juice in there. That's the caramelized sugar. Heavy on the cinnamon. Anyways, if you take a date with yourself, your friends, your family, and you watch this and this inspired you, or you saw the promo reel that I'm gonna post, because I never post promos about Breaking Bread, and as I'm trying to be obedient about this and about what I'm doing or whatever this might create or become, I need to be able to promote it proudly. And I think that because I feel like the quality's been like on and off and all those things, I feel like I'm not really doing something or I'm not being obedient in the best way, but I think showing up is the best first step, and we are being consistent. So if this inspires you, just shout me out, tag me. Also say, we're going on a date though. Also say, I went on a date with myself. You know what, last week, I don't even know anymore. I saw Anita Baker in concert by myself and I ended up seeing Babyface. I didn't even realize Babyface was opening. You can do anything. It can be a concert. It can be going to a skating rink. It can be going for a walk in the park and sitting down and taking it in. Getting tacos, bruh. Do you. Whatever you do, enjoy it. Eat good food that fills the soul. Food is for celebration. Food is for health and wealth and nutrition. Health and wealth. Health is wealth. But whatever you do, I hope you enjoy it. I hope that it adds to your life and adds to your understanding that you have more capacity to love than you ever thought you did before. So, thanks for breaking bread with me. I hope you leave here fed in more ways than one.